Hello, I'm Bernard Moerman. I'm from Belgium. I am the CEO of a cycling center. I had the development program for cyclists. I was a manager of a professional cycling team, Team 3M, and I'm working with Morgan since 2001. Well, I think that the products you brought to the market were ahead of time because in cycling, cycling is a traditional sport. So they think still it's too much about the rider only and not the material. Obviously, you need a good rider, but you need perfect material. And I think with like the TT handlebars you brought, the forks, those were things that were cutting edge and still are cutting edge. And that's what I liked so much about the products you brought up. Well, I think that with 3M having over 60,000 products or something like that, and they always bring in new stuff that, for example, that glass bubble thing, as far as I could understand, that would fit perfectly in the innovations you're bringing. And I understand from what you brought with the oval concept at that time, that like the Jetstream fork and the handlebars, there's so much stuff that could be done together that would be even more ahead of time. So yeah, that's why I keep confidence in working together. My reasoning behind this is simple, that you need to coach young riders, you need to guide young riders to embrace new stuff and to learn how to give feedback on novelties that are used. And when can work together with your companies, with your new materials, and I can bring that to those guys, then not only can they see the advantage, they can also learn how they can give feedback to a company like yours so that they can make the product even better. And then once they hit the very high level as a rider, then they're already used to this part of their job. Because at the end of the day, a high-level cyclist today is also some sort of a test pilot. And that's part of what we wanted to do with bringing up those young riders. You bring the novelties, you bring the new products, you teach them how to work with that, how to respond to it, and then give that back. And that makes them stronger, it makes them faster, and it makes them ready to be a professional rider. Well, you know, the thing is, at the end of the day, somebody that makes a product, to get that to the market, he needs a real story. So since we had a development team with young guys developing their skills, we as team owners, we could also bring the new products to those guys to also learn to work with new things. And then we could even give feedback to you, and we could give feedback to the riders, and even feedback to companies like 3M, where how to use products or what can we change. So I think at that moment it was a win-win-win-win situation. Well, with this new stem, you have the advantage of the inventory, because there's one stem fits all. Meaning you just need to play around a little bit with the first bike to see what it's all about. And one thing I learned through experience is that even an experienced rider, he might ride, for example, a 12 centimeter stem. And because of the geometry of the bike, if it is, for example, a new brand of bikes, you know, it might be still a 12 centimeter stem, but the feel, well, when he rides, might decide that he wants an 11 centimeter or 13 centimeter. You know, although it looks like the geometry is the same, but it's so subtle, and a good rider feels that subtleness. So there you want to have a possibility to play with it. But then you have the bike he rides. But then if you are in a stage race, we're talking easily about 3 bikes. The bike he rides, the bike on the roof, and the bike in the truck. So that means that you need to change it for 3 bikes. So there you see that the more simple you can make an inventory, the more time you win, the more material you win. So it's a great way to save and still be super aerodynamic and all the other stuff you can do with it. Well, first of all, you only have one stem. You can use them for everybody. So inventory-wise, this is already a very good thing. But again, there you see the integration of new technologies. all the electronics that's on a bike right now. That was not the case so many years ago, but now you have your iPhone or whatever, your Garmin, that can all be included or hooked onto it. Plus, you have the flexibility of going centimeter by centimeter forward or backwards to have your right position. So to me, this is really something I could kind of expect from a company like yours, but now it's there, and I think it's just great, because even in the season there might be a moment that because of whatever you want to sit a little bit more forward or a little bit more backwards. It's easy done. Nothing has to change. You don't need an inventory. It's already right there. So I think this is a great thing. Well, in competitive racing, I see two advantages. First of all, because of the adjustment blocks here, you barely need any inventory because it's one size fits all, which is great for over the full season. But also the way it's designed, it can integrate an iPhone, and also this part can be made different as far as I understand, so that you can have your iPhone here and another screen here. So that means that all the information you need to get in a race, like when the sprints come, when the climbs are, it's already there.
And it's kind of funny that this also shows where we get our ideas, because some of those you just pointed out, an additional location and being able to put two things together that we really hadn't considered yet. So thank you very much for that.
Well,
That's part of the interaction.